Good afternoon. Myself, Guruswami K, Head of the Department of Physics, IDSG Government College, Chikmagaluru. In this video, I am going to deliver a third lecture on oscillation. This chapter oscillation belongs to the program First BSc Second Semester Paper Second. The title of the paper is Heat and Thermodynamics, Radiation, Waves, Oscillations and Sound. In this lecture, I am going to cover the topics like forced oscillations and resonance. You should know what are forced oscillations and concept of resonance. And the next topic is equation of a forced oscillator and condition of resonance. Equation of a forced oscillator and condition of resonance. In the previous lecture or session, we discussed about the concept of damped oscillations, equation of a damped simple harmonic oscillator and special cases of damped simple harmonic motion. These are the concepts were discussed in the previous discussion or previous session. Now I am going to give the introductory part of this forced oscillation. First we have to know what are forced oscillations. In the previous discussion we know that what are damped oscillations. The oscillations set up in a body which is placed in a medium, and there we found that the amplitude of oscillation goes on decreasing due to the resistance of the media acting on the particle or a body executing simple harmonic motion, and that type of motion is what we call damped oscillation. So there we found that for a body executing simple harmonic motion, there are two types of forces of the media will act. One is a media friction or media resistance, resistive force, and one more is retarding force. Due to these forces, what happened? The amplitude of oscillation goes on decreasing and finally dies off. And the mathematical theory of damped harmonic oscillator also discussed in the previous discussion. There we derived an expression for the resonant displacement of a particle executing damped oscillations, and the concept of this one amplitude also. There is an expression for amplitude and special cases or different cases of damping, that is light damping, heavy damping and critical damping. These cases were discussed in the previous discussion. So now we are going to discuss what are forced oscillations. Generally, amplitude of a vibrating body decreases due to damping forces and ultimately it comes to rest. But the body may be made to vibrate continuously by applying a periodic force. Once again I am going to repeat this. Generally, amplitude of a vibrating body decreases due to damping forces acting on it, and ultimately it comes to rest, or ultimately the oscillation setup in that body dies off. The amplitude of oscillation becomes zero. But the body may be made to vibrate continuously by applying a periodic force. There we found that whatever the decrement in amplitude of oscillation due to the damping force, that is compensated by applying the periodic force. That periodic force supports for the body vibrating SHM, thereby to maintain a sustained oscillations, that is the constant amplitude of oscillations. Whatever the resisting force or retarding force is acting on the body, the opposite direction, if we apply a periodic force, then the net force acting on the body executing oscillation or a simple harmonic motion will be zero. Thereby the body will oscillate for a long time with a constant amplitude, or the body to set a sustained oscillations with the aid of this external periodic force. And that type of oscillations are called as forced oscillations. Now I am going to give the definition of forced oscillation. The oscillations of a body or a particle under the action of a periodic force are called forced oscillations. The oscillation of a body or a particle under the action of a periodic force. Applied periodic force are called forced oscillations. Example for these forced oscillations are when the stem of a vibrating tuning fork is pressed against a tabletop. Then the table is forced to oscillate with the frequency of vibration of the tuning fork. That is an example, best example. Okay, that type of example were illustrated in the laboratory also. You are conducting two experiments on these tuning fork experiments. One is for Helmholtz resonator. There we are going to find out the frequency of vibration of a known tuning fork. And one more experiment is resonance, that is velocity of sound. Okay, at absolute zero temperature and at room temperature can be found out by the aid of this resonance concept. Okay, it is also done in the laboratory. These two, and in PU classes, you came across the sonometer experiment also by using this vibrating tuning fork. Okay, there we found that how the forced oscillations were set up in a body. Okay, here the best example is when the stem of a vibrating tuning fork is pressed against a tabletop. Okay, tabletop is forced to oscillate. Next, we are going to discuss equation of a forced oscillator and condition for resonance. Now we are going to derive an expression for the resultant displacement of the forced oscillator, the body executing forced oscillations, and later on we are going to discuss the concept of resonance, and we are deriving the expression for condition for resonance. Okay, for that let's consider a particle having a mass m vibrating along the y direction. Let's assume like that, let it be vibrating along the y direction. In addition to the restoring force, say minus ky, and the damping force, that is minus r dy by dt, that is discussed in the previous class. Okay, the restoring force and damping force. Here the additional force, that is the applied periodic force. Okay, we have to define that force acting along with this restoring force and damping force. So that applied periodic force is given as F is equal to F naught sin Pt, where F naught is the amplitude of the applied periodic force and Pt is the phase term, P is the frequency of the applied force. P is the frequency of the applied force, the Pt is the phase of the applied force. Now, the resultant force acting on the particle executing forced oscillations are the algebraic sum of the restoring force, the damping force, and applied periodic force. Thereby, the total force or net force acting on a body is defined by using Newton's law, second law of motion, as F is equal to ma. Here in the place of a, we are going to express that in terms of displacement. So we have m into d squared y by dt squared, that is equal to the algebraic sum of these forces, restoring force, damping force, and the applied periodic force. So m into d squared y by dt squared is equal to minus ky minus r into dy by dt plus f naught sin pt. Now here in the RHS we have to transform first two terms to the LHS, that is m into d squared y by dt squared plus ky plus r into dy by dt, that is equal to f naught sin pt. Now divide throughout by m, we get an expression as d squared y by dt squared plus k by m into y plus r by m into dy by dt, that is equal to f naught divided by n into sin pt. Okay, in the previous discussion this applied periodic force is absent, but here the difference is you have to consider the applied periodic force. Thereby we are going to get the second order differential equation for a forced harmonic oscillator as d squared y by dt squared plus k by m into y plus r by m into dy by dt, that is equal to f naught by m into sin pt. Now we are going to do some substitution. Put k in the place of k by m as omega naught squared, where omega naught is the natural frequency of vibration, and put r by m is equal to 2b, b is some constant, and f naught by m is equal to small f naught. Okay, in the above equation, and simplifying we get d squared y by dt squared plus omega naught squared y plus 2b dy by dt is equal to f naught sin pt. Let's call this as equation 1. Again, if you do these substitutions in this expression, the previous slide now, that is in the place of k by m, we are going to substitute omega naught squared. In the case of r by m, we have to substitute 2b. In the case of, in the place of f naught by m, you have to substitute f naught. Then the resulting expression will be of the form d squared y by dt squared plus omega naught squared y plus 2b dy by dt, that is equal to f naught sin pt. Let's call this as equation 1. This is the differential equation of motion for forced oscillator or forced oscillation. This is the second order differential equation. Again, the solution of these type of equations we know the standard solution. Okay, on that we have to made a comment. Okay, later. Now in this expression, you have to define what is meant by m, where m is the mass of the particle and k is the force constant and r is the damping coefficient. The damping force tends to retard the motion and the applied force tend to support the motion. Already I am covering this point initially while defining forced oscillations. Initially there are damped oscillations at almost natural frequency before the application of the periodic applied force. Okay, initially there are damped oscillations at almost natural frequency called transient state. After some time, particle reaches a steady state. And instantly, when we apply the periodic force, the amplitude of oscillation may not be constant. Gradually, it increases and gets saturated. That is what this point tells. After some time, particle reaches a steady state. Nothing but after some time, the particle produces a sustained oscillation. Nothing but the oscillations where we found that the frequency, amplitude or wavelength remains constant with respect to time. Such type of oscillations were set up in the body, okay, due to the application of the periodic force. Okay, when you apply the periodic force on a body executing damped oscillation, instantly the body may not executing this steady oscillation or steady state oscillation. It takes some finite time to attain the steady state. Now in the steady state, when the body executing these forced oscillations, okay, attains the constant amplitude state, okay, or sustained state, okay, we found that the particle vibrates with the frequency of the applied force. The particle start to vibrate with the frequency of the applied force. Okay, if that is the case, the amplitude of the particle remains constant, or phase difference between particle and applied force remains constant. Okay, in that case, the expression for amplitude will be of the form that A is equal to F naught divided by omega naught squared minus P squared whole squared plus 4B squared P squared whole to the power of. Okay, this is the expression for resultant amplitude, that is find out with the by solving the second order differential equation. Okay, so we get the expression for amplitude, resultant amplitude of the periodic of the forced oscillation. Next, the phase term tan phi is equal to 2bp divided by omega naught squared minus phi squared. We are also deriving this expression by solving the second order differential wave equation for a forced harmonic oscillator. The oscillation of the object lags in phase behind the applied force by a quantity given by the equation 3, that is tan phi is equal to 2bp divided by omega naught squared minus p squared. The amplitude will be maximum when the applied force frequency is, the applied force frequency, if it is equal to the frequency of the vibrating body or harmonic oscillator, where we found that the amplitude of oscillation is maximum, nothing but it attains a steady state. Okay, that is P is equal to root of omega naught squared minus 2b squared, that is equal to say PR. Then we say that there is a resonance takes place between the the natural frequency of the body which executing oscillation with the frequency of applied force. This is what the principle of resonance. When the natural frequency of vibration, if it is matches with the frequency of the applied force, then we say that the resonance should takes place between the bodies, and the vibrating body or oscillating body start to vibrate with maximum amplitude. This is what the condition for resonance. When the applied force frequency, if it is matches with the natural frequency of vibration of the particle executing oscillation, then the particle exhibits the phenomenon of resonance. So in that case, at resonance, the amplitude of oscillation will be maximum, thereby that amplitude is given by A maximum, and that is equal to F naught divided by 2B of P squared plus B squared whole to the power of half. This is what the expression for maximum amplitude. This maximum amplitude condition is the condition of resonance. Condition of resonance. The frequency, that is PR, is what we call resonant frequency. The frequency at which resonance takes place, that frequency is what we call resonant frequency. Okay, in that frequency, the particle executing oscillation, with oscillating with the maximum amplitude. Oscillating with maximum amplitude, or producing oscillations, post oscillations with maximum constant amplitude. Okay, like this, we are going to explain the equation of a forced harmonic oscillator and condition for resonance. Okay, once again I am going to brief what are the topics covered in this session. First one is we should discuss what are forced oscillations and what are the different types of forces comes to play on a body executing forced oscillations, and later on by using Newton's second law of motion we set expression for the resonant force as m into d squared y by dt squared, that is equal to minus ky minus r into dy by dt plus f naught sin pt. Okay, after defining the resonant force acting on the particle executing forced oscillation, later by doing some mathematical operations, and finally we get an expression for a differential equation for a damped simple harmonic oscillator, that is second order differential equation. If we solve that equation, later we are going to define the expression for the amplitude of oscillation and as well as phase, it is A and tan pi. Later on we are going to define the condition for maximum amplitude, that is what we call resonance condition, and we give the expression for resonant frequency, that is PR is equal to root of omega naught squared minus 2B squared, and the maximum amplitude at resonance, that is A maximum is equal to F naught divided by 2B into P squared plus B squared whole to the power of half. Okay, thank you.